We good? Everyone's here? Great. Okay, I'm the last thing standing between you, and I'll try to make it light, quick. So we touch what do we need. I'm happy to answer any questions after the session, if there are any. Okay, let's get this going. First of all, thank you for coming. A little bit about me as we start. My name is Yoav. I've been doing this thing in the IT system or in the IT business for the past 20 years. Some of you may remember me from the semi-successful blog, Yoav, where I was sharing my thoughts about super important stuff like Office Web Apps Server and the link client for Windows Phone 7 and other very important things. I joined Microsoft in 2016, part of what used to be the Enterprise Communications Global Practice or the Voice Center of Excellence, around the time when Microsoft introduced Teams and the move from Skype for Business to Teams started. I took a pivot and started working with the Surface product group on Surface. I led that experience for a couple of years. And for the past 2 years, I'm working with a great team and a great set of partners to drive the Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform growth and innovation. It's funny that whenever I tell people that I work at Microsoft, but I'm part of an Android platform or Android product development, everyone's given me a weird look. And then to explain that Microsoft is not new to Android. For the past 15 years, we've been developing on or for Android. We have over 100 apps across Microsoft and its affiliates, so LinkedIn, GitHub, and Microsoft-owned apps on the Google Play Store. And in fact, Microsoft is considered one of the largest Android software companies because we develop Android on or for Android. Our Android workforce is about 2,500 engineers. Not all depth, but we have plans. We have aspirations, but we have 2,500 engineers working on or for Android. Again, since 2011, the MDEP teams are mostly around. We have a big team in Romania. We have a big team in Taipei. The rest are in Silicon Valley and the Seattle area. I am the sole representative of the US East Coast, based out of New York. Pivot moment in why and how we're doing Android came when we introduced Surface Duo. Some of you might remember that device. It was the first Microsoft Android phone. So the first Android phone, so the first Microsoft phone not built on Windows, built on Android. It was also the first Android dual screen phone. So a big pivotal moment for us, and also I hope a big pivotal moment for the industry. But that was the first time when we figured out that we can combine the best of Microsoft and Android and bring up a product, and also when that kind of laid the foundation for MDEP. And the same team that brought Surface Duo is now the team that is bringing the Android experience to the Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform. Now, what is MDEP? And we'll get into more detail in a couple of minutes, but in a nutshell. So a customer-ready Android platform from Microsoft based on AOSP. So just to be clear, this is not a fork, and this is not a brand new flavor or operating system based on Android that Microsoft is taking over. It's not separate from AOSP branches. We started developing MDEP. We're bringing Android 15 later this year. And the way we operate is that we maintain full compatibility across all Android apps and services. As far as we're concerned, every app and service running on Android today can and should run on MDEP in the future. Obviously, there's some secret sauce. There's the Microsoft and the MDEP secret sauce. So there's There's proprietary components from MDEP. We're investing mostly in advanced security, AI, and enterprise-grade features that are missing or not available in certain Android flavors that are today. Now, why MDEP? Why we started building it? And again, it goes back to the Surface Duo moment where manufacturers and enterprise customers came and told us, oh, you're building an Android operating system, and we didn't know. Well, we didn't really build an Android operating system then, but we are doing it now. And they told us, look, we love Android. We're crazy about Android. It's flexible, it's customizable, it's lightweight, it's everywhere. But at the same time, there's fragmentation. There's too many flavors out there. There's too many versions out there. It's impossible to update. There's multiple platforms, multiple versions, and security is inconsistent if you look at the myriad of Android flavors out there, and to the point where sometimes you can get a single vendor, but they would have different Android versions and flavors within the same company. And what they asked us for is to give them a more reliable and easily managed Android platform. They wanted to stay up to date. Well, that's at least what they told us. It's not uncommon to find a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old Android device running somewhere in a dark room in your offices. They want to stay up to date, and the manufacturers, the OEM, told us, we don't want to do any Android development work. We want to take the developers we have developing the platform today, move that development power onto the experience. The differentiators that we have, we want to move them there so it's easier and faster for us to bring those features. So we sat down and we thought, okay, if we can come up with 3 key things that MDEP can solve for, what would they be? And obviously, since we couldn't agree, we came up with 4. So first one is no more fragmentation. We want to eliminate fragmentation, and we want to give the developers and the IT admins the ability to enjoy a single, concise platform where MDEP provides a consistent and unified platform. The experience should always be the same for the IT admin. The experience should always be the same for the developer. The experience should always be the same for the end user. Next thing was, it has to be reliable. It has to be secure. We've learned that security concerns and platform instability can drive the end customer from purchasing Android. Android is perceived as less secure many times. And then we said, okay, this is something we can help you with. And our first step was to include enterprise-grade enhancements for peace of mind. So security first. You think we talk a lot about AI? Whew. Security is the first thing we talk about at Microsoft. Then it has to be simple and efficient. OEMs and developers and IT teams, they want to streamline the operations. They want to get to market faster. They want to innovate better. They want, again, to invest less in the platform and more in the innovation. And we're trying to help them reduce the cost and simplify the deployment and improve the device management overall through the life cycle of that device. And last but not least, expedite success. Get to the market faster, speed up the deployment, and throughout the device's life cycle, monitor, update, and proactively manage fleets with ease. All of these are righteous causes, but Microsoft? Well, it appears we know a thing or two about managing operating systems and platforms, and we bring decades of OS development and lifecycle management. The approach where we put ourselves to is the same team that built Duo is the same team that's driving MDEP. We are to combine the best of Android and Microsoft together, and we're focusing on simplifying the development, the management, and the innovation of OEMs and developers. So again, it starts at the OEM and the developer level, IT admin, and the aspiration is that for the end user, other than getting maybe a more reliable and a better performant device, the experience for them should be completely transparent. Now, what are the differentiator? What is built into MDEP? So the first thing is it comes built in with Microsoft services. The majority and probably the most known service is Teams. I'm assuming everyone here is familiar with Microsoft Teams. That said, MDEP is not a Teams-only operating system. Okay, if you ever had that thought in mind, let me help you pull that out. Okay, MDEP is an agnostic platform. It serves all VAS providers, all services, and all apps. So MDEP is not just for Teams. Obviously, yes, we work very close with them. We love working with them. We're under the same house, but MDEP can service and will service more VAS providers. So it comes with Teams, it comes with Intune, and will provide full and native support for all Microsoft services coming soon. Obviously, we're a developing platform. Some things are not available today, but we're coming with those features in the future. Then turnkey MDEP components. So comprehensive, this is less maybe here, but if you're considering to buy new devices, you're looking for your next OEM, or if you're an OEM, then we're providing you with a full suite of system services and apps and APIs for collaboration devices. Again, if you're building a device, we give you everything you need to build that device faster and hopefully better. There's tools for networking, for device pairing, for provisioning, for updates, and for security monitoring. All of these are coming built in with MDEP. Again, not just for Teams. You have another VAS provider, you have other apps running on this device, they can take advantage of those as well. Then flexible OEM extensibility. Again, OEMs and ODMs, they want to bring their existing AOSP components to MDEP. We're aware of the fact that certain manufacturers have invested in Android over the last couple of years. That's not taken away from them. They can port the same way they port their experiences and features onto the next level of Android they're getting from Google or from their SoC manufacturer, from the silicon manufacturers. Same thing applies to MDEP. We're not taking any of this away. On the contrary, I think we're providing them with a platform they can better and faster innovate on. So again, MDEP is extensible. It's making it easier for them to innovate and to differentiate. Again, taking the workforce away from developing a platform and into developing the experience and the differentiators. How can we talk about a Microsoft product without saying AI at least 10 times? I said 7 so far. So again, it comes with on-device AI models. So we've introduced a local AI framework on the devices. It's powered by the Microsoft models. It's designed for privacy, for safety, and security, and it supports custom AI models. So again, if the developer or if the manufacturer wants to bring AI and they either couldn't do it until today or there was lack on the platform we're bringing today will support all of these for those devices. But there's more. Again, I said AI, 9th time now. It doesn't end with AI, 10th time. I don't have to say AI anymore. It doesn't end up with AI. The first thing that we're asked to deliver in everything we do at Microsoft is security. Somewhere between 20 and 30% of the workforce in Microsoft, the development workforce, is all concentrated in security. So we have already taken what's good in Android and Android security. It's secure boot and in device encryption, but we've added Microsoft PKI attestation. We've added secure device pairing, add integrity service. And these are all very, very big names or simplified names for the suite of security features that are in this device. We are not cutting it there. Everything we do, every service and every feature and every epic that we put in these devices is looked on from the security perspective first. The way Microsoft operates today, if it doesn't meet a certain security requirement, it's going to go down the list. So we're introducing security in every feature and everything we're doing. Then frictionless deployment. That's been a great demand and a great ask from both our OEM and our IT admins. They want to invest in automation and workflows. They want to reduce the manual work and simplify the updates and lower the IT costs. This is all coming in future updates of MDEP where we have it coming in there as well. And then inclusive by design. I think one feature that we don't talk enough about is the fact that we have to have everyone included. We have text-to-speech services from Microsoft already built in. And we support customization for offline use for various device types, all built into MDEP, so everyone can use the devices that are built on MDEP. And last but not least, ongoing updates. The one thing that we heard from our partners and customers that is the most terrible pain point is that we don't know when updates are coming. We don't know what updates are coming. We don't know how long they're going to last. And what we're providing is a very, very regular, predictable, and long-term update commitment. We release updates to the platform every month. Now, Android, if you're familiar with enough with Android, Android doesn't update. Android is a build. Every update is a full build. So we release monthly updates that are security updates combined from Google and the silicon vendors and MDEP every month to the vendors. We're also committed to provide up to 4 feature and enhancement updates a year. And we are also moving our Android version every 2 years. So every other Android version, we're moving forward. We started with 13. We're bringing 15 later this year. Next one will be 17. This will allow us to, first of all, stabilize and make sure that everything works perfect. It will also allow the OEMs and the manufacturers and developers to innovate better on a single Android version. And when they're ready to move to the next one, that will be in a couple of years. I ran super fast through everything. Obviously, we're not doing this by ourselves. The MDEP community is a great community. And when I say great, I mean that the majority of the innovation that we're doing is driven by our partners. Every OEM, every ODM, and every chip vendor in this slide are the ones that are asking us and pushing us to give them the features, to give them more silicon options, to give them more advanced features that we may have not thought about. So reach out to any of these to learn more about your next MDEP device. I really ran through these slides. So this is the end of the slideshow. Now, I'm up for questions. I told you, beer is much more important than me, right? I'm happy to take questions. I'll answer the first 2. MDEP does not stand for Microsoft Device Ecosystem Platform. And no, I do not know when we're taking over the world. Everything else is up for grabs. I may not be able to answer everything, but I hope I can have add some clarity and remove ambiguity. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, the question was, is autopilot for MDEP or autopilot for Android coming? The answer is yes. I can't tell you when, but it's soon. Any other questions? That's a great question to ask the teams. That's a great question. The answer is not as simplified as I want it to be. The platform shouldn't change the performance. I hope we're improving it, but I definitely don't think the platform has any impact on what the actual performance of the device is. There are a couple of factors here that we haven't taken into consideration. First, Android as an operating system, as a platform, has changed a lot. So the resources that the operating system or the platform is consuming, if you compare Android 9 to Android 12, has blown up. At the same time, there is a demand and a request from the end users and from the market to bring more advanced features onto Teams or onto Zoom. And they make these devices, consume even more resources. So I'd say if you want to make sure that your devices meet that criteria, first of all, work with teams. Teams are the ones that are mandating and are dictating what are the minimum requirements for every device. Can we take every device in the market already and make it an MDEP device? The answer is 100% no. Some devices don't meet minimum requirements. Some devices don't meet our requirements for security. So we know that that's not going to happen. I hope, to answer your question with a positive note, I hope that the work we're doing, and we're optimizing every chipset that we've chosen, so we don't support any chipset in the market. We're optimizing for specific chipsets that are on our supported list, and we're optimizing for a form factor as well. So the build that we're doing for room devices and the build that we're doing for phones are different builds, and they're optimized for that performance. So I hope that we're bringing better reliability and better performance, but I can't tell you what at the end of the day the developers and the manufacturers are adding on top of what we're giving. Any other questions? Theoretically. Any other questions? These. Yeah. We are talking with everyone. We like all our kids equally. There's a look. The bigger the vessel, the harder it is to steer. We're an open platform. We're committed, and we're going to remain an open platform. So we're not locking down. We're not in the business of making anyone angry. We're having conversation with everyone in the ecosystem, and we're hoping to share very exciting news later this year. Yeah. Any other questions? Comments, concerns, things you want to see? Yes. Yes. So when you take AOSP, it's always vanilla. You take it either from Google or you take it from silicon vendors. There's a system image. That system image is built based on what they built for it already. So if it's a Google, it's completely vanilla. If it's coming from a silicon vendor, then there's already some components that are related to the silicon. Now again, we're not touching that. We're taking that, but we're adding some binaries, some Microsoft components that are the secret sauce of MDEP. But it's not a limitation. There's no point where we say, you can't do that. We're obviously looking into utilizing some of the work that we've done, and we're recommending manufacturers to work with what we've done. And we've learned that in many cases, they would rather take what we did because it makes sense. There's components that we've invested that we think make sense for everyone to work with. But there's no point from the MDEP perspective that we mandate that they take, you can only use this or you can only use that. We're not forking. Right. Yes. So Android, the way Android operates is that there's a version that's being released, right? And that AOSP version has new features and new capabilities. So we don't take those away. Obviously, we'll take that. We'll ingest our features onto that, and then we'll release it to the manufacturers to add their secret sauce onto it and their layers, and then ship it to the end customer. So it's not a fork. It's another layer. It's not even another, because we're in every layer of that platform. It's just additions, enhancements, I'd like to call them. Yes. Certified as in Teams certified or Zoom certified? So we at MDEP, we don't certify devices. There's no qualification or certification program. There's a certain set of requirements that, around security and around certain telemetry events, and everything is open, by the way. If you're not familiar enough or if you want to learn more, aka.ms/MDEP, I should have put that somewhere on the slide, but I hope it's short enough to remember. All of our telemetry events, all the services, all the architecture of the platform is there, available online. We share it, we update it every time there's an update and there's a new build or a new release. The certification requirements are driven and dictated by who is certifying the device. It could be an app, it could be a service. We are giving them a platform. How they do it, how they certify it is up for them. Any more questions? Who wants beer? There you go. Okay, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.